Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Matt and John Make a Podcast live reactions this week to AEW, Fyter Fest, and NXT Great American Bash Week 2.
And thank God we have got our streaming technical difficulties figured out, not the freaking shit show like we had last week, Matt.
We are using StreamYard. Shout out to StreamYard.
My God, was that a freaking
trying to find a streaming platform that works and uses split screen like what you're seeing right now and all that fun stuff. You had streaming platforms that have one thing and not the other, and another one that has the other and not the one we had before. It's just difficult all around. And we thought we were going to get Google Meet and that whole fiasco. It worked for our podcast, I think last week.
Yep.
With Eric, or week before,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. It was a week before.
Yep. And that was fine. And then we wanted to use it again for last week. And the grid view thing wasn't working. I don't know. Why? I don't know why Google Meet doesn't just have that normally, but I don't know.
Good old technology there.
So we're going to use StreamYard for this, at least for live streams, because it works seamlessly with YouTube. I don't have to use OBS and set something up in that and have two screens. So everything is in one place. So that's good. So enough about the technical difficulties. Let's get into both shows today. Overall, what did you think? Because obviously you watched, you're the AEW watcher. What did you think of this week's AEW compared to the previous week?
I definitely think that from night one was probably better. But I will say that for this week, outside of the bullshit with Archer and Janela, the rest, this was pretty good, and I am definitely going to be ranting a bit on that match. But just a really solid show. And from all accounts, NXT also sounded to have a pretty good show as well. Now, my question is, how close combined viewership do these two shows get to the third hour of Raw? Because I think they did a 1.6 for Monday night, so I'm very curious to see
8,774. I think it's going to be really close.
Because I think for last week they did just over. I think they did just over 1.5. So it's getting pretty closer. You kind of wonder, will they get past that? I'm saying probably not, but it will be interesting just because of the spoiler that obviously leaked out for Keith Lee and Adam Cole. So I think we should just get into that, since that's probably is the biggest news from this week, Matt. Going to
for what, the Keith Lee.
Let's just talk about that. First of all, did you get any wind of this spoiler?
Nope, I did not. I did not. I stayed away from him like the plague.
Because
I didn't want it. I didn't want it to be spoiled. I wanted to go in not knowing. I wanted to enjoy the match and go for the ride. And because we've been talking this, I mean, could have gone either way. I mean, more so than any match of the night. I think we all assumed what was going to happen even before the spoilers came out. but I didn't want it. I didn't want it ruined. I wanted to go in and enjoy it for what it was.
Yeah. I think that the better question is what kind of asshole develop in developmental would
It's
post this on their social media. A part of me being the conspiracy theorist that I am, if thought at first maybe Triple H gave or basically told someone to post this and to take it down initially to try and generate some more buzz.
I don't know about that.
But I think that this guy was just clueless, and for some reason posted this on his Instagram, which you gotta ask yourself, what are you doing? But at the same time too, this could also have a like a Mick Foley on winning when he won his
Yeah,
WWF title.
it could.
Will that actually attract more people rather than take away
Yeah,
some?
and that was the yeah,
Yeah.
and in that case, that was the opposition saying that,
Mhm.
not somebody in house.
Right.
I feel like see, I don't know if Triple H, I don't know if they would do that. I feel like
The conspiracy theorist any though has to say, I could see it happening though, right?
okay, you're like your uncle or whoever.
No,
Uh,
hey, don't,
did I
don't,
did
don't you
I
dare.
cross the line? No, what I think would happen maybe, and I think one of the person was somebody in this share or whatever. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens there. But I
Wasn't
think
he? Wasn't he? He like wasn't he the former Pirate pitcher, or
I don't
was
know
that
if
the
it's the other one.
other dude?
I don't
Okay.
know. I honestly
Okay.
don't know. I don't know
Okay.
what their names. Anywho,
But
I think what happened is because this was probably taped all in one day.
yeah,
That,
I
and
would
I felt like
imagine.
it's I would do something like this. You would
Mhm.
it when you take a picture of something that's happening live in front of you and you post it, because we're all millennials and we post crap that you at the moment maybe forgot it was supposed to air next week in the moment, and you take it and you post it, and then like after you're like, oh crap, this is not happening right now,
Right.
it's happening next week. Maybe that's what's happened, because I don't
Mhm.
think anybody is that stupid to be like, no, at that point in time, this is supposed to be next week, this is a big match, let me purposely spoil it for everybody.
Mhm.
I don't I don't I can't see him doing it. Maybe there's a chance,
Mhm.
but I feel like that would be something, at least that's something like I would do or anybody would do by mistake. Like you're in the moment and then you realize, oh crap, I shouldn't have done that, and then you get in trouble.
Yeah. Okay, but as far for the match itself, were you surprised? For me personally, Matt, I feel like that this was probably this was I feel the correct time to put the title
Oh
on
yeah.
Keith
Oh
Lee.
yeah.
Because and I have been saying this for quite some time now. I think it's too soon for Karrion Kross, and to me, the only person who's had a and an actual build to become champion is clearly Keith Lee. He's a
Oh,
current
definitely.
yeah, he's a current North American champion. And like I think he won that title. Did he win that title after Survivor Series, or was this after once 2020?
Um,
I
I
forget when
no,
exactly, but
I would no, I would say he. Oh hell, no. Who was NXT champ? No, Cole was NXT champion.
mhm.
I don't know who had it before him. I don't know, when did he win. When did I can't remember. It's driving me insane. I can't remember.
Yeah, but the point being, I feel like it was definitely the correct time, and
Oh yeah,
they're already teasing Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross, which
yes.
I hope is not happening at SummerSlam, but I have a bad feeling that's probably where they're going, and if Keith Lee drops it at the takeover for SummerSlam, I'm gonna have some really mixed feelings about that. At one point, I'll be really happy because this really solidifies Karrion Kross as the main guy in NXT, but at the same time, you would have Keith Lee only having the title for what, 2 months?
Yeah, I'm very unsure.
Right.
Keith Lee deserves a decent run, maybe through Mania weekend next year at I guess the latest. I think that would be a good time for somebody else to beat him. That's several months. You're not going to have another Adam Cole reign of 400 days back to back.
I mean, like, just for me personally, I would like for him to hold it to at least until Survivor Series weekend, because then I feel at that point, okay, I think we've seen enough of Keith Lee as champion by then. I mean,
next month, the SummerSlam one, too soon. Survivor Series in November, I can buy, depending on what they do, I can buy that easier than a month.
Yeah.
Survivor Series, the Survivor Series, I'm sitting here, initial impressions I'm okay with compared to SummerSlam. Easily can work with that.
And personally, I would rather see Keith Lee versus Finn Balor first, as his first challenger.
Because
I feel like he has been undefeated ever since he's come back to NXT. Has been and obviously more meaningful programming. So it's just, I feel like that.
I think he takes the North American Championship off because Finn Balor said he wants that. So
yeah, it's going to be either him or Johnny. It's going to be one of
because then again you had Gargano in a backstage interview today because both him and Candice won their matches tonight. Say that he wants Balor because he doesn't forget the people who I forget what the exact word, but he said that screw him over because he said it was Finn Balor's fault that he's not double champ right now or going to be double champ. So that's a match between the two. I can see maybe the winner of that faces Lee for the North American Championship or something like that. I can buy more so Balor, maybe a Balor Lee at SummerSlam takeover. And that buys you time for Karrion Kross down the line at Survivor Series. What Karrion Kross does in the meantime, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like how and somebody brought this up on I saw this on Twitter. Somebody brought this up that maybe it was somebody, it doesn't matter. I like the way they're booking Karrion Kross because he doesn't appear, at least in person, week in and week out. He's like that early Fiend Bray Wyatt where he wasn't on, and even the Fiend character is still not on every week. And we're not with Bray Wyatt. We're not seeing this Fiend in the Braun Strowman feud for a long time. They're building that up, which I find. So stuff like that, you're not overexposed. It's almost a special attraction when Karrion Kross via Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, is a special attraction in a sense. So when you see him, you know it's something's big for the most part. So that's good there. And they basically closed off tonight's show with Karrion Kross and Scarlett up in the I guess like a lighting booth or something above the arena, looking on and laughing, which was a nice shot for that. The tease there with Keith Lee celebrating in the ring. So it was a good way to end. It was a good tease for the future.
Mhm.
I'll
So,
just go ahead.
so for Adam Cole, do we see him going now to either Raw or SmackDown? Do you think?
He, definitely, I think after SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I don't know what they
yeah.
do with him.
Honestly, I'm even thinking for SummerSlam, maybe they do him versus Dexter Loomis, possibly, or he gets his rematch against Keith Lee, which are I think only two matches that I can really think of. But I think he's destined to be called up with in the next few months here because this will be his 3-year anniversary, I believe, since he signed with NXT.
Has that been that long?
Yeah, because I think he signed in 2017. So I think, and I'm definitely hoping that he goes over to SmackDown, which I believe is a current rumor right now, where he's where people think that he is going. Just with the current landscape of things, I'm kind of hoping that's where they go because because from Raw, just seeing who they are booking over there, I'd be very scared. If you are an Adam Cole fan, if he went over to Monday Night Raw.
I still would take a Drew Adam Cole feud
Oh,
all
absolutely.
day, just for the match all day. If he was on Raw, I all day.
Right.
I mean, obviously, you don't have to do that right away if you get drafted, which I would expect.
Hell, man.
Or I would
Or
wait a minute.
put him over on SmackDown, and then you have him, Riddle, Dan O'Brien, AJ Styles. It's becoming more of a wrestling show.
Like it was back in 2000s.
Right, and I think, and I mean, at least for me, that's way more intriguing than anything that's going over on Monday night there. So,
Yeah,
and it does seem like too with Riddle specifically that they actually have some sort of a plan for him, which is exciting for now. Anyway, we'll see how long
I
that
had a
lasts.
thought that since SmackDown, and this might be too long, if they don't call Cole up right away, that
Mhm.
I would expect a draft around
SummerSlam
October,
time. Yeah.
right? Because SmackDown came in on October, right? And
Yeah.
that's like 1 year, and I can see Fox saying, "Well, this is a new season. We want new people. Shake it up."
Right.
I could see a draft there. I don't either. You pick him up and after SummerSlam, or you wait for him to get drafted, which I think
Mhm.
that's too long. But I
Yeah.
think that's two um, outs or two possibilities. Like you could see the draft that could be more of a shock. Like,
Right.
oh, it's Adam Cole. He comes out and nobody sees it, even though people expect it. I don't know. I thought of that the other day.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I definitely think another draft is coming.
Okay. Well, as far as for the rest of the show, Matt, anything noteworthy that came out from NXT?
I'll just go through the results real quick.
Hmm.
We start out with the street fight between Candice LeRae and Mia Yim. Good street fight with them. The finish looks sick. Candice, they had to set up a table on the top rope. They both were on it. Candice stole Mia's breast knucks from her on up there, hit her in the face, punched her in the face with them, and did a swinging neck breaker off of that onto a pile of chairs, and then gets the win. Bronson Reed takes on face Tony Nese. There was a little backstory there. that they covered. Bronson Reed gets the win. Good little filler match. I mean, solid. I mean, nothing special, of course. Robert Stone tries to recruit Shotzi Blackheart.
I saw freaking Shotzi run him over
with a tank. And he's screaming, "I'm gonna die." That was I popped for that. That was the funniest thing. I'm gonna die. Oh, that was good.
I can see backstage Vince laughing his ass off at this thing happening.
If he was there.
Oh, absolutely. He was
hey, random, it's with that tank.
It was a mini tank. It's
that tank.
It's hilarious.
I laughed. It was funny. We had after that Isaiah sort of Scotch versus Gargano in an excellent match. I believe this was opposite at one point. I obviously talked about the 8-man tag match over on AEW. Gargano hits the one final BDT for the win there. Good vignette of Tegan Nox and Io. Io just looked freaking creepy. She was like in a water. It looked like she was in a water take again, and her voice like sounded robotic even more so. It's so good. Tegan Nox tired of being just known as the comeback kid. Io saying that Tegan Nox doesn't have any help to get her to the championship. Flashback to Dakota Kai attacking her, and then Tegan Nox brings up that Asuka helped you last week. This pre-tape, just an excellent match there, and or excellent
video. Did they announce when that's happening
next week?
Oh yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen
next week. Then we have Legado del Fantasma versus Breezango and Drake Maverick. Good match there. Breezango came out as some form of the Conquistadors in their entrance, which is hilarious, given that Fantasma, that group doesn't like mask and flips.
Yeah.
But Legado del Fantasma wins. They pin, I think, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. The main guy.
No,
the main guy.
Oh
my God.
Oh, who was it?
Escobar.
Yeah.
I think he got the pin over Maverick. I think I'm not sure, but Maverick gets so Fantasma gets the win. Decent match there. Like I mentioned before, the Candice Johnny backstage about challenging Finn Balor, and Candice says they both have loose ends to take care of. Then we get Santana Garrett versus the returning Mercedes Martinez.
It's been a freaking hot minute since she's been back.
A hot minute, no. And she looks good. I tweeted, I don't want to meet her in a dark alley.
Is it bad when they showed her entrance on Twitter? My first thought was Glacier's daughter.
Somebody said that. Somebody else said that.
I want to say that it was Raj Giri might have said that. I can't recall, but yeah, I saw that too. I was like, Glacier's daughter, and someone also said too as well. Like a ministry taker.
True. Yeah,
with the whole attire and everything there.
So I was reading the text. It was funny. So she wins with a Fisherman Buster for the win, and then it was announced after a short vignette, Damian Priest versus Cameron Grimes next week. Damian Priest says Cameron Grimes is just going to be a bitch, which I popped. And then we had Keith Lee versus Adam Cole, and obviously Keith Lee wins.
Yeah.
The finish there, I think it was a good finish. If I could go over this real quick, I believe Adam's Cole finishes with the last shot with that knee. Is that the move?
Yeah.
Okay. First, I'm drawing blanks when I was writing this down.
Something else I wanted to also bring up. Someone said that Cole doing his Panama Sunrise on Keith Lee was probably a bad move and kind of made him look a little bit weak as far as Keith Lee goes. What would you say about that thing? Which I can see that just because Keith Lee is like 6'3", is like 6'3", 6'4", 330 pounds. And
I can,
Adam
but
Cole
I've seen
is small.
more disbelievable things in wrestling.
Yeah.
That I'm desensitized to like that stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, like I can believe that more than some of the stuff we've seen in the past in wrestling. Than like
our buddy Marcos.
No, I wasn't even thinking that. I wasn't even thinking that.
What was the
one thing we were watching? Was it Impact or RH? And we were watching the one match, and we were like, "Come on!" Like they were doing so much stuff to each other. Like, come on! Like you should be dead. I forget what match it was. It might have been ROH or.
Oh no! It was when we watched Slammiversary. It was Pentagon Jr. versus Sami Callihan in that insane hardcore match. I just thought of that just now.
That was it. Staples like
those two basically killed each other.
I'm believing their ghosts right now. So like stuff like that, like I get the point, but I that's like with everything going on and nitpick.
All right.
But so the little thing, I'm going to go back a little bit even before the match real quick. The little things, like I'm noticing the little things. They did the backstage entrances as they walk out to make it like a big fight feel. And the little thing is Keith Lee came one way backstage, Adam Cole came another way. So they won't come in the same way, which obviously like on a regular show people would be. It's like the little thing, like coming from separate locker rooms. I don't know, it's a little thing there.
Yeah, actually,
they do with
does that too.
Yeah, that too. But like, for at least for, I mean, we assume they're coming from the same. But it's a little, same thing. And then another little thing in the match, I think Adam Cole hit the last shot, I think in the middle of the match, but the knee thing, his knee pat wasn't down, and Keith Lee kicked out of that. And I thought that was a nice thing to do because obviously when Cole puts his knee pad down, that usually means he's going to hit it, and the person more than likely is going to be out. So I thought that was a little thing there. So when he hits the last shot at the end, the knee pad was down, but he said that's not enough, and he goes for another Panama Sunrise. Lee counters, stops it, hits a Spirit Bomb, then hits the Big Bang Catastrophe, and it gets the win there. And then obviously Karrion Kross and Scarlett look on. So that's pretty much NXT for this week. I'm look at the past nuts to compare it to last week because I asked you what was better. So before you ask me,
I
don't know. I want to say, this week might have got an edge because I'm just looking. The Street Fight was excellent. Scott and Gargano was great. The 6-man tag was good. Keith Lee and Cole was Keith Lee and Cole. Last week we had the strap match, fatal 4-way match. That was good. Thatcher and Lorcan for a throwaway match, but for a unadvertised match was good. It was I don't know. It was damn close. Maybe this week gets the edge a little bit. But I think 2 solid weeks of NXT this week, in my opinion.
All right. Okay, then. So now let's move over to AEW here. Yeah, we kicked off the show for the tag team championships between Kenny Omega and Hangman Page versus Private Party, who earned this tag title shot, and which was basically a substitute match since they had to push back on Moxley, Ember, and Cage to for next week, but short little match here. It was about 12 minutes or so. Obviously Hangman and Kenny, they go over here. Private Party, they did okay here. Just kind of, the same thing as I talked about. They need more experience. And I keep on seeing constantly people have already saying, oh, they are done, they're terrible. I'm like, guys, these kids are so young still. Like, can we like,
oh no, they're not terrible. No,
pump the brakes just a little bit, because clearly, Matt, one of the freaking Hardys were like 18 and like 19 starting in the WWF, and they were vanilla as hell. Like it just like it's going to take some time for these guys to get more acclimated and continuously working in front on TV. So, but nonetheless, a pretty decent match. Then we get on to this freaking horse shit between Archer versus Joey Janela. And I'm saying to myself, A, why is Archer selling so much? B, why are there tables out and steel chairs out when this is not a freaking no DQ match? And it just like, this thing just went on way too long. Like, this went, I think, almost 10 minutes. They went through a commercial break and this thing was still going on.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm
it
like,
should have been a one segment.
This should have been 3 minutes tops, because now, how am I supposed to believe that Archer can beat Cody or Moxley or anyone really credible?
This is what I was worried about when he didn't win the damn TV title. But I was scared.
But
I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
No, but like, you could still recover him by having him just squash this freaking jabroni. But no, like, they have Janelle in a competitive match, which this is one of the things with this company, man. They feel like that every single person needs to look good in the ring. Newsflash, not every wrestler should be on the same playing field as everyone else. Like, could you imagine Hogan and freaking Coco Beware on the same level,
Nope.
or Steve Austin and the Brooklyn Brawler on the same level?
That's an insult to Janela right there.
Right. It's just like,
excuse me.
It was just infuriating me this whole entire time. So,
yeah,
thankfully, the only positive thing I could say about this, Archer won. But that, I mean, like,
if he lost, it's over.
Oh God, like, this
over.
They even did freaking Jake running interference, which I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So this did not help Archer whatsoever. I don't care what anyone says. This sucked. This was terrible. This was terrible booking.
Booked like crap ever since he lost.
It's been booked like shit. Now onto someone who has not been booked like shit. Man, Matt, probably my favorite thing about Dynamite every single week now is just seeing Taz cutting promos
Oh yeah.
because just the intensity, the energy that he consistently brings. So for this week, he has a big time announcement. Now, the first thing I thought of was, please do not have this be a Dixie Carter like announcement where she really builds these up and they really never live up to the actual billing. But this, in my opinion, it did live up because Taz
I
awards Brian Cage with the FTW World Title, which if you are a freaking original ECW fan, you probably popped hard for this because this was
I didn't
created.
I didn't know about that title, so I
Yeah.
didn't pop hard. I'm probably the
So
one person on Twitter that didn't know about it. I'm
right.
like, I saw this
Yeah.
like, oh, what is this? And everybody's like, oh, you had pictures of him holding
Right.
it back in the day. I went, oh,
Man.
okay, that's pretty good.
Like it really just portrays Brian Cage as just a bad MFer. Like this, like Taz has helped Brian Cage so much. It's gotten to the point now, Matt, where I don't even care if he wins or freaking loses next week. Just because even if he does lose, Taz is just such a damn good job at doing everything for Cage. He's going to be a big deal regardless. And just adding this title just adds another layer to his character that I'm very intrigued with. So I'm
Yeah,
very interested to see how they're going to book him versus Moxley for next
yeah.
week.
I still don't like that he possibly can lose next week
Mhm.
already, but
He's going to lose. Like
yeah,
that's a foregone conclusion there. He's
but
going to lose. Yeah.
Like you said, Taz is doing wonders for him compared to what Roberts was doing to Archer.
Yeah.
It was Roberts was doing strong work for Archer in the beginning, and then
It's
they booked
just
him like crap.
yeah.
So it all
Okay.
depends, and it all comes down to what he does after. If he's still somewhat strong after losing, obviously we'll be okay with it.
Yeah, but I think what's going to end up happening is we're probably are going to be seeing with Darby Allin interfering, and that's probably what's going to barely have like Moxley I mean have the pinfall win over Cage, which if they do that, I'm perfectly fine with
Yes.
that because then that absolutely protects Cage, and while at the same time it allows for them to proceed with Moxley as champion and man, just I mean I cannot wait for Cage versus Allen because man, Brian Cage is going to beat the living tar out of Darby Allin. I mean, that's going to be um, a really fun match. And just some other notes from the Taz promo there. Basically, he says to John that you're done, and that with this title, this um, portrays Cage as a renegade, a badass, etc. So very good segment and much needed after the horseshit that we got with Archer and Janela here. And then that leads us to the 8-man tag, which I felt should have closed the show tonight. I was a little bit surprised that it didn't happen, but we had an 8-man tag between FTR and the Bucks versus Airbnb, or as they are supposed to be called, Butcher and Blade, and
Their names.
the Lucha Brothers, which this was their first tag team match together pretty much since the pandemic started. So I was really intrigued how this was all going to play out. And man, this was really, really damn good. Although there was at one point in this match where like freaking Butcher looked completely lost and just like kind of almost kill the entire flow of the match here. And I was talking with Eric about this. I was like, well, what is he doing? And like he was like, he kind of killed a lot of what was actually going on there. But thankfully, something that was really shown in this match, Matt, was the amazing chemistry between FTR and the Bucks. Like and with the Lucha Brothers as well. Those three are, in my opinion, probably AEW's best tag teams, and you could probably throw in Kenny and Hangman as well. But they just worked really well together here. I was shocked though that they had Nick Jackson eat the pin here from the Lucha Brothers. I was like, whoa, I did not expect that. I thought, man, I thought.
What did you expect? I'm being like an ass. What did you expect?
Airbnb to freaking eat the pin.
Did I say that last week?
Yeah,
I think I said
like,
that last week.
Both of us were like, hey, like it's clearly one of those two guys are going to eat this pin. No, freaking, I think it was Phoenix pinned Nick Jackson, and yeah, that was a little bit surprising. So first thing that popped into my head was this: FTR should definitely have the next tag team title shot, especially, and this was made for next week. We are getting FTR versus the Lucha Brothers, which you got to think the winner of that probably faces Hangman and Kenny, which I'm hoping is FTR because
I'd be dumb if it's not.
Yeah, FTR and FTR, I think, are the team who needs to take those titles from Kenny and Hangman. So I think that's probably where they are going. And man, I'm pumped for FTR and Pentagon and Phoenix for next week. So really good 8-man there, Matt. And did you catch any of this?
I was going back and forth because this was, I believe, like I think I said, the Gargano Scott match, which was great.
Yeah, this was happening, I think, around 8:45 ish.
Yeah, I think that's when it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I was going back and forth. I mean, I didn't pay attention to the 8-man tag as much as NXT, obviously, but it was a struggle.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Then we get Pig Swole in the parking lot. Apparently she has been suspended for kidnapping Britt Baker.
Which thank God, with the exception of Undertaker and Teddy Long, which makes sense, because in any place on earth, if for the most part, if you kidnap somebody, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
So
and Tony Khan, he commented on this on Twitter, basically saying, "Hey, we care. You're not supposed to be kidnapping other wrestlers, essentially." And basically, Big Swole, she was like, "Man, you could have freaking called me. You could have faxed me." And so she was pretty. She was pretty mad. I need more content with her and like Britt, man, they're just so damn entertaining right now. So then after that we have like another Rose squashing two enhancement talents. This was about 3 minutes. Then after the match, she cut a promo basically saying that she's going to be having a like manager, and she has decided this because from her point of view, the truly successful people in this company obviously have a manager. She was obviously talking about Cody, having Arn, and like Brian Cage having Taz and stuff like that. So yeah, now let's go be having a manager. Now, very interested to see who they actually pair her with.
Is it sad that I missed that I kind of is over Nia Rose at this point?
No, honestly, I've been pretty much the same way as well. It's just she just doesn't really cut it for me. I'm not exactly sure what is exactly. It's just
it depends who her manager is and what they do with her after.
She needs something because she's definitely lost, because like she just feels like someone else. Honestly, I mean, like
she doesn't feel special,
right? And that's a problem right now. So hopefully, whoever that they pair her with, they'll be able to actually fix it.
She's talking to Sheeta, and I'm like, do I want to see that again? And I'm like, I mean, I'm glad they had her cut the promo after. I mean, say something. I was expecting maybe somebody bigger than a squash match, but yeah, I'm just until they make me care. I don't care as much.
Yeah. Then we get a 6-man tag between the Dark Order versus SCU. I'll be perfectly honest. I just did not care about this match at all. Just with Dark Order, they are just so pointless at this point. I don't care about the whole storyline with Colt Cabana being involved there, and SCU, unless Scorpio Sky is being involved in singles, I'm just not going to care.
And I think this might have started or was going on with Lee and Cole. I think
it was like right at the very beginning there. Yeah,
so I'm just like, nope.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Nope. And just to go over with the results here, Dark Order they get the win after Brody took out, I think it was Christopher Daniels, and gifted Colt with the pinfall, and we're continuing that whole story there. Again, don't care. So that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. Then we get another small segment with Britt Baker, where somehow Big Swole got into the actual area. She confronts Britt Baker, throws a paper ball at her nose, and you would have thought with Britt that she got freaking shot by a freaking BB gun.
Can I tell you what I thought happened?
What's that?
I thought, because I missed the paper ball there, so I looked.
I was like,
I looked at it right after, and I thought I saw who's her the person with her.
Rebel.
Yeah, I thought Swole did something and hit her hand, and her hand like backhand her in the face. That's what I thought happened, because what I swore I saw Rebel's hand go up. So
honestly, that's a possibility too, because I thought that, but then I saw a paper ball. I was like, oh, a paper ball hitter, because that just
I have to look
looked
back,
odd.
but
But
I thought like if it was the paper ball, that's overly ridiculous.
right,
But if it was the hand, like her hand, like she accidentally backhand um uh Brit, because I thought like immediately I thought that makes sense because Rebel has been messing up lately with going to the bathroom and taking forever in the bathroom and all that
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
being a bad bodyguard. I thought
yeah.
that would immediately, that's what I thought of when I saw it, the backhand, which I could see the reaction from Brit. The paper ball, I mean, unless she got one hell of a paper cut on her nose.
I guess so, man. But
I have to see it again, that because I missed it, but I thought it was the backhand, which would have been hilarious
for sure. All right,
at
and
least to me.
now, yep. And now the final thing of the night.
Oh, hang on.
Matt's boy Orange Cassidy, his favorite wrestler in the whole entire world, versus La Champion Chris Jericho. Now, I'll be first to say, I just was not feeling this match. I know a lot of people really loved it. It wasn't me. It's just, honestly, I felt like for the first, I would say 75 or 80% of this match, not a lot actually happened. I mean, I mean, you did have constantly Orange Cassidy taking some pretty hard bumps on the barricade and stuff, and this is pretty much exactly how I thought that they were going to actually book this. Orange Cassidy was going to have some pretty good moments here, but at the end, obviously, with Chris Jericho, he's going to have the pinfall here, and that's pretty much what happened. It was funny when Jericho came out with Santana and Ortiz, they brought out orange juice. It's a little things like that, but at some point, Santana and Ortiz threw that at Orange Cassidy. Eventually, best friends come down and they fight with Santana and Ortiz, and then eventually Chris Jericho hits the Judas effect and he pins Orange Cassidy to close out the show for Fyter Fest for night 2. Now we are moving on to Fight for the Fallen, which they have 4 advertised matches right now. So obviously we have a Cage versus Moxley for the AEW World Title, FTR versus Pentagon and Phoenix, and the Elite versus Jurassic Express. That should be pretty good. And they had a Cody Open Challenge, and Matt, guess who he's defending his title against?
Sonny Kiss.
Sonny Kiss. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, because he had any singles matches on Dynamite. No.
God, did I remember?
He's in a tag team with Joey Janela. So this makes no sense, and I have nothing against Sonny Kiss, but he does nothing for me. Let's just who wants to see this? I'm being perfectly honest. You're just like, are you trying to drive away viewers here? I mean, I would be fine if he actually won some singles matches on Dynamite. Like, you couldn't find someone else who has won some matches. Like, I mean, and they did the same thing with Private Party and like Mark Quinn, who is a tag team wrestler, and yet he's getting a title shot against Cody. This is kind of the bad thing with the whole open challenge thing, is like you're putting guys in the ring with Cody who don't really have any business being in the ring with Cody right now. So, but those are the things advertised for next week, which I do expect for next week. AEW should win over NXT just on this lineup alone. They have zero excuses why they should lose.
Unless, depending on if NXT books anything out, announces anything else between the week,
they're definitely are going to need to step it up for that because
I still think, well, I don't know, it might be close next week. I think it's going to be close this week. I wouldn't be surprised if NXT wins again. Overall, even though if it's close, with AEW obviously winning that demo 1834 demo. Next week, as of now, if you put obviously what we said, both cards announced so far side by side, I felt like AEW should win. I don't know how much, but I think AEW next week, as of now, wins total viewers.
Absolutely.
It's close, might be close. I don't know, but
we shall see. But Matt, I believe that this should do it for this stream this week. And as we said, a much easier time doing this show on StreamYard. So a shout out to StreamYard for that. As always, guys, with our podcast that is going to be coming on Saturday, we're going to be talking about the Deshaun Jackson story going on there. So with that, George Masvidal, he is now he is fighting Kamaru Usman in the main event on Saturday. That's going to be a fun card. I cannot wait to tackle that. There, we'll probably talk about the odds and stuff there, and some other small stories, whether it's COVID or whatever sports. We got a preliminary schedule for hockey, so that was pretty much announced a few days ago. So we will also add that to the agenda as well.
Baseball got their schedule out.
Yep, correct. So as always, comment, subscribe, follow our Twitter page, and for Matt, for John, we shall see you on Saturday for the next episode of the podcast.